We're joined by the president and CEO of the New York Football Giants, Mr. John Mara. And John, as you went through this process, what stood out about Coach Judge that made him the guy for this organization?
Well, you start off with the training that he's had. He was at Nick Saban's staff at Alabama, where they won a couple of national championships. Then he moves over at some point to Bill Belichick's staff at the Patriots. When somebody does that, you take notice of it. He's had great training, but what stood out in the interview was his poise, his confidence, his presence. You could see leadership qualities in him, his knowledge of the game, his ability to relate to players. There were just so many qualities that just jumped out at you. It was as impressive a coach interview as I've ever been a part of.
Whether it was championships in the 30s, that era in the 50s to early 60s, then the 80s with Coach Parcells, with Coach Belichick being here, Coach Coughlin being here winning Super Bowls, the Giants have had a certain style of game. Talk about that style and what you hope to get back to.
Well, what we want to get back to is winning games. We haven't been doing a very good job of that lately, but this guy, Joe Judge, brings a certain attitude, a certain confidence, a certain presence to us. I like the fact that he believes in coaching the whole team, not just one side of the ball or the other. He's going to be very involved in everything we do. And I particularly liked his ability to talk to and relate to players and understand where they've come from and what challenges they have, and his ability to motivate them. He was working on his PhD in education. This guy is a teacher, and I think that's something we need right now.
Obviously, the last couple of years haven't gone the way you want. To hire a special teams coach is a big leap of faith, plus he's a younger guy. Just talk about sort of the decision to kind of go in that direction and go a little out of the box.
Yeah, it never really bothered me one way or the other whether a guy was offensive or defensive or special teams. It's more about the person himself. And yes, the fact that he is young is certainly a concern, but I just think he has a certain maturity about him and a certain presence about him. And he'll surround himself with a good staff. I have a lot of confidence in that. I think he's got a chance to be a great head coach.
Obviously, winning is important, as you mentioned, but there's a certain sort of DNA that the Giants have with this city and with their style. In your opinion, what's that DNA?
Well, what I'd like it to be is to be a tough, prideful team that never gives up, that's always going to give 100%, that plays great defense, has a great quarterback, and has a great coach behind the team. I think we're heading in that direction, and time will tell, but I feel very good about this hire.
John, thank you for a few minutes.
Thanks.
Hey Giants fans, Saquon Barkley here. You want to see more videos? Subscribe below.